Is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor. Welcome to my YouTube station. It's the home of the 5 minute or less video. I've left my office. I've decided to come to this condo I have overlooking like some of the intercoastal in Fort Lauderdale. It's a nice view for me. But anyway, this is the home of the 5 minute or less video. What do you want to know about me? I've worked over 10,000 cases. I worked for IRS for a decade. I've been in private practice for 4 decades. I've been on all the major TV stations. I am an expert in IRS resolution matters. I was a teaching instructor for the Offer and Compromise program. I accepted offers. I denied offers and compromise. And other than being a national expert in the IRS, I have this YouTube station for 3 reasons. Number one, there's a lot of crap going on YouTube, and they're slick salespeople, and you think they're who they are, but they're not. You need to have education on offers and compromise. And you need to be informed really of what they are. And I can do that within 5 minutes, so you don't have to start worrying. I have a whole team of former IRS agents on staff. That's all we do is resolve IRS problems. I have worked so many offers and compromise, I can't even count them. I can tell you within 10 seconds of looking at your current financial statement whether you're going to get your offer and compromise through. When you do this as long as it doesn't take long to go ahead and do this. What I want to tell you is there's only one way to settle your debt with IRS, and offer and compromise is king. I worked my first offer, I don't know, back in maybe 1976. So the program's changed a lot, but it's the same basic formula. So I just want to tell you a little about the formula and just a couple other things. There's 3 programs to deal with IRS debt. The first program is the currently non-collectible or hardship. That means IRS looks at your financial statement and they're saying, you're just getting by. You're living kind of within your means and you can't pay the tax, so we're going to place you in currently non-collectible. You're currently non-collectible for 2 or 3 years. Sometimes the cases stay there for 10 years and the statute blows. Penalties and interest do run. IRS will use their right of offset to take a refund, so just adjust your W-4. You don't need to worry about that. So about 40%, 50% of all cases wind up in the currently non-collectible file. And like I said, many times these cases, once you get in there, never come out. There's no way to tell that. IRS's algorithms control all that. The next is the part pay agreement, where you really can pay the debt, you want to pay the debt, and there's a couple different type of programs. I'm not going to get into all those programs. There's 3 or 4 on this YouTube. This isn't the purpose of this. So at the end of the day, you can pay the debt off. IRS has programs that pay this off in 6 years, 7 years, or start just making payments. You can go on the IRS.gov portal and start making your payments or enter a payment program yourself. The offer and compromise is king for getting rid of your tax debt. It's the only way you're going to officially get rid of your tax debt is through the offer and compromise program. The offer probably takes a year by the time you turn in the paperwork, if you turn it in all correctly, and you'll hear from IRS in about a year. The forms, 433 AOIC and the 656 are generally the 2 forms that you need to get the offer through. And I just want to tell you some about the formula. What's happened, a lot of people are catching these marketing streams and marketing ads, and people are telling them they can accept offers, and really they're not the case. I just want to tell you 2 things you need to know. If you're going to give your money to somebody, whether it be us or someone else, is you have to be able to speak to the attorney, CPA, or enrolled agent who's working the case, and they review your current IRS financial statement. If no one's willing to do that, don't give them your money, because you're speaking to a salesman who's going to go ahead and rip you off. For instance, at our firm, unless I see your financial statement and I know your case is a shot, I won't even take the case. I don't want to. I'm going to know within seconds of reviewing your financial statement whether you're an offer and compromise candidate. So don't give your money to anybody. Remember, speak to the professional who's going to work your case, reviews your financial statement. Let them go over the reason you can or can't get it accepted. You will know how much they know. You can smell these people out like bad rats. The other thing you want to know is what the magic formula is for the offer. IRS only really looks at two components. They look at your assets. They want to know what the value is. If you have $100,000 worth of assets, you're not going to settle for any less than 100. IRS wants that 100,000. Don't go thinking, gee, I owe IRS 100, but I got 150 in the bank. Maybe they'll settle. They're not going to settle. They need your total liquidity. Don't give your money to anyone. You're going to get ripped off. Then the other thing, oh, by the way, they discount your home 20%. So if your home's worth 100, the value of your home will be 80 for offer purposes. The other thing that they do is they want to know your income versus your necessary living expenses. This is one of the main keys for offer and compromise, and it makes everybody go ahead and stumble. What happens is that IRS has a strict formula of what they allow you to spend your money on. It's a lot lower than you think. IRS has a national standard that's a fixed expenses that they're going to allow in the area of food and clothing, housing and utilities, car payment, and operation of cost. If you want to know what they are, go on your internet browser, go ahead and put IRS national standards for food and clothing, IRS national standards for housing and utilities, IRS national standards for car payment, IRS for operational cost. So you have to know that, because what IRS is going to do, if you make $5,000 a month and IRS is only going to allow you $4,000 a month, you have $1,000 left over a month. IRS is going to take that $1,000 left over at the month and multiply it by the number of months left on your statute. So let's say you have 5 years left on your statute and you have $1,000 left over at the end of the month. The value of that money is $60,000. 1,000 times 60 is 60,000. What does IRS do for the offer formula? They add the total liquidity you have in your assets plus whatever you have left over times the number of months left on your statute. They add them together, and that's your offer formula. It's that simple. IRS has a pre-qualifier tool that you can go through. There's a lot of correction that can be done, but it's a general rule to what to do. Anyway, if this information was helpful to you, please give me a like, a comment, or a subscription. YouTube loves us to have subscriptions because it places value. You want me to do a YouTube, hit me up. I'll try to do a YouTube on something you want. My information is in the description section below. Thank you very much.